It seems like all the popular houseplants nowadays aren't safe for cats and dogs. Today I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite houseplants that are going to be cat and dog safe for your home. I am going to have a more detailed blog post on my cat photography site, so head over to candidkitten.com to get a little bit more info about all these plants after the video is finished. But starting off here, we're going to go with one of my favorites, and that is the blue star fern. Delicate, light, and airy plant. My wife and I have had this one for a few months, and we just recently picked that one up as a second. These plants are originally designed to grow on other plants, so they don't do really well in really damp and dense soil. You want to make sure and pot them in something that's going to be able to drain super well. They're also very sensitive to direct sunlight, so make sure to keep them in a shaded window area or just a little bit further back so they're not getting those harsh rays in the morning or in the afternoon. All right, next up we have the Parlour Palm here. And this one's another one that does really well in the shade. You want to avoid those harsh sun rays or else you are going to singe and burn the leaves. You want to make sure to water it thoroughly, but keep it in a soil, again, that's going to drain through very well. It's also pretty sensitive to a lot of fertilizers, so if you do fertilize it, just do it very, very minimally. These will actually get kind of bigger and bushier as they grow too, really nice and lush. Moving on from there, we have the Dwarf Cavendish plant. Now this is a banana plant. It's actually meant to get about 6 feet tall at its highest, so definitely not small. I'm hoping to see this one and my second one here grow nice and big for the apartment. But these have been doing really, really well. Right when we brought them home from the nursery, they panicked. They lost all but one leaf. The last couple of weeks we've had some extra sunshine here in Portland, so they've just been sprouting up. All 3 of these leaves are new in like the last 7 or 8 days. But this thing is super hardy. You've got to be careful with the smaller, younger banana plants like these in the direct sunlight because the leaves can burn and singe. I actually have a little bit of that on mine. But in general, they need tons of water, tons of light. So you really just, they'll soak up that water and they'll soak up the sunshine. They've been doing really, really well as the springtime has came. Next up from there, we have the Peperomia plant. Now there are a ton of different subspecies of the Peperomias. Found this at a local florist. It has been one of the hardiest, kind of easiest, safest plants we've had over the past few months since moving into our new apartment. I love the look of these leaves. They have that just really dense, kind of crinkly, bubbly look to them. It's going to be more of a medium light plant, but in our experiences, we've tried it out in a few different locations in our apartment, and it's done really, really well every time. From what I've seen online, from my personal experience, it's pretty flexible. You do want to make sure not to overwater it. Again, this is going to be a soil that you want to add some gravel or wood chips or something in so it can drain out really well. All right, and moving on from there, this one is called the prayer plant. They actually call it the prayer plant because during the day it'll go out and open, but over the nighttime it'll actually close up. It's a super cool thing to see. You know, I keep this on my desk in my office. Every time I come in, a few hours go by and those leaves just move so much. It's super cool. It's another one just like the Peperomia that's been super hardy and super easy to care for. It does like a lot of light, but again, not that direct sunlight. So keep it in a good shaded but bright window if you can. Water it regularly, all the basics. Moving on from the prayer plant, we've got this big one right here. This is actually called a lady palm. We picked this one up at a bigger nursery in town. I think it's called Portland Nursery. It's out on Division in Southeast if anyone's in Portland here and wants to check it out. It's an amazing selection of plants. This is one of the bigger plants that we got. We tried to get mostly small plants, one, because it's a lot cheaper, but two, there's something kind of satisfying about being able to grow something yourself. I actually used to care for bonsai trees for a lot of years. I got busier and my hobby kind of fell off, but it feels good to be back and caring for some more plants again. But the lady palm, they're actually meant to get about 6 to 12 feet tall potentially. So really, really cool. Excited to see this one long term. It's been doing well in a pretty medium to low light spot for us in our bedroom. I haven't noticed any real issues with it, so it's a good plant if you don't have a ton of extra light in your apartment or home. All right, and last is this little guy up here, and this is Pilea peperomioides. think that's right for the pronunciation. Chinese money plant. This one's actually brand new. My wife just picked it up a few days ago. I had no idea these ones were cat safe. I thought I had looked it up a few months ago and saw that they were toxic, so I just kind of wrote it off in my head. But come to find out, that one is cat safe as well. This one's one of the more popular trendy plants right now too. It has a super cool look with those round disc leaves, but with that one it's gonna be pretty basic. Again, the trend among all of these, don't overwater. That seems to be kind of most of the general rules of a lot of houseplants anyway. But this has been more of a medium light spot for us so far, and it seems like it's been doing really well. That is going to be it, everybody. A quick little tour of all of my cat and dog safe plants in my home office and my apartment. If you have any other recommendations for plants that you think are really cool that are also going to be safe, leave them down below in the comments. Always, always, always make sure to check before you buy plants. Make sure they're going to be safe for your animals, and also support your local nurseries. Buy locally if and when you can. Always the best way to ensure that you have happy, healthy plants. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you all in the next one.